Talk to me about what you've been doing today. So how did it go today? Camera's on Dan.
Yeah, I think we all gave the other song a try. We tried both songs out.
So you're working on 2 tunes basically?
Yeah. So we tried the one that we were doing before, and yeah, it still works. So still fresh in our minds.
And are you quite slick with it, or what needs to improve? Be improved?
It's a mental side of things. Do you know what I mean? Just being able to just come in and just get on with it basically. And just do it. That's basically the main thing.
I don't want you to kind of get bored of doing it. I'd rather that we got a performance done sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Because we could borrow G11 and do it in front of the whole class. Couldn't we?
But yeah.
I think we need to do more random groups, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like going from the top.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's just confusing because we did have Jack doing the bit on it, and then we did have Will doing the bit on it, and now neither of them are there. Sometimes one of them's there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So I think the way forward, it's just there was only, if Jack was up here, there'd only be 3 engineers. I wanted there to be 2 engineers, and so why don't you leave a section for Jack? Can Jack just freestyle it anyway, probably?
Maybe. Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
Why don't on Tuesday? Well, maybe on Tuesdays have Jack, and then Jack can engineer on Fridays, and just leave a space for him.
Yeah. Sweet. That works.
And so, what's the difference between the 2 tunes?
I'd say the one we've been doing more recently, I'd say it's a bit grittier.
Okay.
And harder hitting drums and stuff. And the bass one's more like intricate. But I'd say the first one's jazzier and kind of mellow.
Okay.
So
What's going on with the keys? Is anyone doing any keys?
Jude was meant to be here, but he wasn't there.
Well, no. But this is about communication,
Yeah,
isn't
I
it?
literally said to him, I was like, "You asked for keys today." He was just like, "No."
No, that's fine. So therefore, can you and/or Sam just even 2 chords would be enough?
Well, now, to be fair, there was that little chord progression that I was playing that quite like. Do you know what I'm saying at the beginning? Like, that kind of works.
So why don't you work that out now with Dan so that you remember it?
Yeah, but that's just long because then I'm gonna have to do that while rapping.
No, you just do that while Sam raps and you switch over or something.
Or we have a little vibration with it, and then
Yeah.
keys pick up again.
There you go. Yeah, I just don't want you to get all like, yeah, we just keep going with the same thing.
Nah, fair enough.
I think something needs to change.
Like what?
I don't know. Something does. I'm not sure we're a snitch, but we're not getting enough done, are we? Something needs to change, honestly.
Well, it needs one of you to almost be like a band leader and like direct things and say, right, guys, let's. I mean, yeah, you can play a backing track through a speaker of some beats that have been made. Myles jams along with like some 808s, so you could switch things up a bit and have a 3rd tune. And also that would act as like a metronome, so that you're all. I'm not saying that you're not tight, but then you're all locked in. So if one of you've got some beats already that you want to, we can just have that playing through a speaker. Myles jams along to it. So, you could do whatever you want. I'm giving you free rein so don't just be restricted by just 3 musicians and 2 rappers. You could or should. Or what about this? Why don't you get some keys and a drum beat, all pre-made in Logic, bounce down, playing through, and then you all jam along to that, and then there's some pre-recorded keys. It doesn't matter. So like Sam's on it.
So it's Mario, isn't it?
So, what's the target for next week then? So you've got two sessions next week. What should we do here? Because it feels like you need freshening up a bit.
So get a drum and keys track and then play off speaker.
So who's going to take responsibility for that? Is that maybe something Jack could do or Dan could do? Maybe.
Get Jack to do it.
I don't mind doing it.
I mean, I know, but the reason I say Dan is because Dan knows the songs. So do you want to get a beat?
Are we doing the same one? Or
that's whatever we want to do.
It's up to you. So you need to work that out as a group.
Right.
So either you add beats and some keys that we can just plug in through the system and just have them playing, and then you.
Do you think I should just do like a like the whole song of like just the keys, so Myles can do the.
Well, so you're going to have problems with timing there.
Yeah.
Because if there's a beat with it, then you've got something rhythmic to click, as a metronome. Whereas if it's keys, it's going to be very easy. Because all it's going to need is for Myles to go, I can't even hear it, and like it's really loud for you. Myles can't hear it, and then he loses his timing, and then it all. So having backing tracks is really difficult. In some ways, you need.
Would you say?
Or you could have it whereby. Myles has some headphones on and can hear it directly, and we split it off, and it also goes through the speaker. So Myles is the metronome, and then Myles. So everyone locks in with Myles, but Myles is locked in with the backing track. But you hear the backing track as well. But obviously when you're sat behind a drum kit, sometimes you can't hear stuff.
Especially like the speakers.
But this is what you need to work out. Yeah. So if you want to do that, then we could do that whereby Myles. We can have him plugged into like some headphones.
Yeah.
And we have some pre-recorded keys.
Yeah.
But then all your structures need to be perfect. So if Myles was to go into the wrong section, and then everyone's going to be out. So it just creates an extra potential problem. But it would be a really good learning experience to do that.
Yeah.
People play with backing tracks. It's not unusual at all. So I think you need to come up with a plan for next Tuesday. Would you rather other people were here like Jack, or I know obviously Will's not here, but Jack, or because part of me thinks too many people. So Jack or Jude. It's not snitching on people. It's just I'm wondering if there's 7 people in there. I just think it's going to get more confusing. But if you want those people, then you need to make it happen.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be see what happens. You should work it out as a group and say, right, hang on. Actually, no, let's get Jude in. Jude could play the keys. Or we need Jack because there's that 16 bar that's missing. But you need to make that decision.
Alright, yeah, sweet.
Where's Jack anyway?
Jack's downstairs in the studio. I mean, that sounds really good what they're doing.
Yeah.
So can I leave it up to you to come up with a plan for next week? But what I don't, just to repeat, I don't want you to be getting a bit like, yeah, we're just doing the same thing. Like, get it right. So if it means saying, Jude, can you join us? Be more assertive about it. If he just doesn't want to join the band, then come up with a plan B. And Jack, I think will be here if you want to. But don't sometimes more is not necessarily better. But it's up to you guys. So that's the plan for next week then. Yeah, work that out.